Okay, first Alec is going to introduce himself.
Alec Ramirez, 17 years old, and I go to St. Mary's High School.
Okay, and I am ol'Roff, and I am 79 years old, turning 80, and I don't do anything. I formerly dealt in art, and I'll be talking a lot about art, and I'll be talking about the different artists I have represented over my lifetime. I owned Grace Country Gallery in Lodi until I became sick with a brain tumor, and part of the brain tumor is still in my head. It was called Grace Country Gallery, and it bordered an alley. It was on Pine Street. It was bordered by an alley. The alley was the separation of the Nortino Red Mexican gang and the Serenos Mexican gang. They were bitter enemies. The alley was where the fighting went on. The alley was where people were hurt. And my place, Grace, the building bordered the alley. When I rented the place, I was told to be careful, and it wasn't long until graffiti started to appearing. And the alley, when we moved there, my wife was afraid to walk down or to drive down. She certainly wouldn't walk down it, to drive down the alley. Time passed. My building became the neutral zone for the Reds and the Blues. Both of the gang, gang members of both would actually could be in my building at the same time, and no violence. I broke up a few fights in the alley. Probably the most interesting fight was between girls. One of them was three Mexican girls. I don't know whether they were red or blue. The other was a group of Mexican girls led by a blonde white girl. And there was three Mexican girls. There were several of the led by the blonde. I watched, and the three Mexican girls were going to get hurt. There was no question. And I went out and I intervened. And I finally broke it up. The girls went home, or went their own way. It was a few minutes later, the three Mexican girls came back and thanked me profusely for saving them. It seemed after that time I did not have hardly any trouble. No, I would like to rephrase that. I had absolutely no trouble with the Mexican gangs. Several of them I became very well acquainted with. I asked them many times about why they joined the gangs, and I will be talking quite a bit about that. For now, this is my first actual video telling anything, so I will stop at this point. And Alex,